Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the supplies that I use for Inktober in 2019. This is my first year attempting this challenge, so I'm going to share with you a bit about my process, and I'm even going to do prompt number 11 for you guys on screen today. Lucky you. Alright, let's just get on into the video. Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of my Inktober supplies. So I'm just going to start with some basics, and then I'm going to work on today's prompt with you guys. So, basic things: pencil sharpener, essential. I also have 3 erasers, so I just have a oval eraser. It's Factus, so it's like the General's brand. I think this is a General's kneaded eraser. I honestly don't know. It's probably a General's one. Mate, Prismacolor. I can't really remember. Then I have the Stanford Tough Stuff eraser stick because it gets some of the smaller areas, so I have that. Another basic, my favorite pencil currently is the Murado Black Warrior HB2. I'm really sad that this is gonna be dying soon and I don't have any replacement, so there's that. I also have this basic dip pen, just from Amazon, came in a set, and there were like 10 nibs in it or something. I just picked my favorite nib, and that's what I've been using. Then I have 3 white sort of pen markers. So I have the Uniball Signo. It's for the most part kind of dead, but it works sometimes, so I have it. Then I have the Pentel Milky Pop white gel pen. That is pretty much what I use whenever my Uniball Signo one doesn't feel like working. And then I have this Galaxy marker. It's normally used for like card making and stuff, but it's been working pretty well, so I've been using that also. Next, in this glorious section over here, I have 12 Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent ink colors. So, I have a review on these on my channel. It's from a long time ago, like many months, but it gives my first impressions of them, and I'm going to be using one of the colors today, and I will talk about why it's one later. I also have all of these black pens to use. So I have 2 Prismacolor markers, so they're just like, so I have 2 Prismacolor markers. I just have a chisel nib one and a brush nib one, and then the other nib, it's like a little bullet nib thing. So they've been helpful. I also have a chisel nib and brush nib in a smaller pen version. Then I have the .005, .01, 03, 05, and 08 of all the Prismacolors. This is just a Uniball, like, another pen. It doesn't really have anything on it to tell me what it is, and I've had it for a long time, so I don't really remember. Then I have this Zig Memory ink pen. It's also in 05. A Micron ink pen, also in 05. A Sharpie pen. I'm pretty sure this is more like a 03. I also have a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen in black, and it's just their normal, like, nib. It's the F nib, if that helps. I don't know if it does. I also have 3 Spectrum Noir art liners. They're in brush nib, 005, and a 05. And I have a review on those on my channel as well, if you want to check that out. And yeah, I think I'm just going to get started on my Inktober process. So, the first thing I do is go to my trusty little sketchbook. I just have this cute little spoopy, derpy jack-o'-lantern things, because it was cute. And the month of October, which has all of the different prompts on it. So today's prompt is here. It's snow, and I've already picked out the ink color that I want for it, so I'm just using iridescent white. I know, it's really exciting. So this is where I start for my Inktober. I just go to the date, figure out what the prompt is, and pick out the supplies for it. So, this is the ink I'm going to use. I'm going to move this out of the way, and grab a piece of paper to start working. So, yep, I'm just going to zoom in and I'll talk more about my process, probably in a voiceover while I'm working, because it's just easier for me. See you in a minute. Here's a quick little close-up of my sketchbook with my cute, spoopy little jack-o'-lantern. And here's the calendar of all of the prompts that I'm using for Inktober this year. Today, of course, is number 11, which is snow. How I normally like to start out my Inktobers is making a sketch in my sketchbook, which I did off camera because it can kind of be a long process sometimes. Fortunately for this prompt, I had a decent idea, and it, of course, was inspired by my spoopy little jack-o'-lantern guy from that calendar in my sketchbook. I don't know, I thought it'd be a cute idea, so that's what I went with. But yeah, I'm going to talk about my process first, and then I will talk about the art I'm working on. So first, once I am done working in my sketchbook and have figured out what idea I want to go with, then I start sketching it out on paper. This is just some cardstock that I normally use, and it's been working pretty well for Inktober. Sometimes when there's too much ink or too much ink and water, it can sort of curl up on the sides a bit, but I'm learning, and that's part of the Inktober process, right? So once I have sketched out my idea on this paper, I normally just go in and erase as much of the graphite as possible. I'm getting a lot better at having it very light and using less lines than before and just going straight in with ink. Not quite confident enough in my inking skills to just go right on in with pen, but you know, it's something I should probably challenge myself with, and Inktober's the perfect time to do that. But maybe in another prompt when I'm not filming it. Maybe. So I normally just have all of my supplies out for me to choose from whenever I'm working on a prompt, and I've already predetermined the ink color from the Dr. P.H. Martin's inks that I want to use for each prompt for each day. So that was pretty easy to decide what I'm using. But then I just sort of figure out what pen that I want to use for the day. Whatever I'm feeling, that's what I go with. Today I just wanted to use the Spectrum Noir art liners. I really enjoy these. They're very smooth. I like the black ink color with them. It's just a nice neutral sort of black color. And I really enjoy using them. So there's not much of a science to how I pick things other than, you know, if I know a certain size that I want, then of course I'm going to pick whatever I have in that size. But for the most part, it's just sort of me deciding what do I want to use. Yes, and this is a part where I accidentally went over my lines. So I just used that little Milky Pop white gel pen to fix that up a little bit. Sure, you couldn't even see it, but I could. So it works pretty well. Of course, the white's a little bit different from the paper, but it works. And yeah, once I've mostly laid down all of the black ink, that's when I go in with the Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent ink color. And it works pretty well. I don't really like putting black ink over these inks, the iridescent inks, because it just doesn't really work. Like, sure, it might turn black instead of whatever color I'm using, but it still shines through, so, you know, that's something neat that I'm learning. Another supply that I didn't actually mention in the beginning that I will use later is just a plain old craft brush. It's just a rounded brush, and that's what I use to apply ink whenever it's not just lines. If I'm using lines, then I use my dip pen, but if I need to do like a wash of ink, then I use a brush. And it's working pretty well so far. I'm still sort of learning how to do it, so if I'm doing it wrong, I mean, let me know so I can learn, but be nice about it, because I'm a person with feelings. So now I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about the art, because pretty much this is my process. I sketch a thing, put it on paper, I erase all the graphite, I do all the black line art, and then I add in some ink color. Yeah. So a bit more about the artwork. In general, for my Inktobers, I want to keep them pretty simple. I also don't really want to add people in. Of course, if I do this later in a prompt, then I guess you'll find out if I change that rule. But I just like the simple sort of art style, and I also want to make sure for my first Inktober, I don't overwhelm myself, and I can feel like I can accomplish it. So that's why I'm doing sort of smaller, like 5.5 by 8.5 pieces, and just, you know, keeping the line work simple, because I don't know, I do draw every day, but I don't finish a piece every day. So this is something that I'm trying to work on and learn. For this specific prompt, I wanted to go with this little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin because my calendar inspired me to do it. I thought it'd be cute, and, you know, growing up in Pennsylvania, it wasn't abnormal to have a jack-o'-lantern outside and it snow for Halloween. Or, you know, for the beginning of October, because living in Pennsylvania mountains is super fun. Of course, it doesn't happen now because global warming's a thing and it's destroying our planet. All right, that's too dark and deep for this Halloween video. Oh man, it got too dark for a Halloween video. I didn't know that was possible. All right, stop rambling. Talk about the art. So, mostly, I just focus on doing smooth line art to practice just getting my lines smoother than before, because sometimes they turn out scratchy or I go out of line, so this is really good practice for me during this Inktober. I also knew I wanted the background of this piece to be black or like dark, so it would make all of the like iridescent white shimmer pop through, but I didn't want to just do a flat like wash of black because I thought that was just too easy. So that's why I did these sort of cross-hatched boxes, and it looks sort of like patchy and patchworky, and I think that's cute. And then I just went in with this iridescent ink to do a wash of snow on top of the pumpkin and below on the ground. And as you can see here, I messed up and got a nice little splotch of that ink in the sky where I didn't want it. I had no intention of putting any iridescent ink in the sky, but after this, well, I tried to soak it up with a brush and use it at the bottom of the page. And I also wanted to finish the bottom of the page before it dried too much to make sure everything blended in as smoothly as possible. And then I grabbed a nice paper towel to try and soak up those little ink spots that I got. But one of the, I guess, good things about this iridescent ink is that once it's down, it's down. It's staying there. It's not coming up. You're not getting it back up. It is going to live on your paper forever. So that helped me determine that, oh, I guess this is an active snowfall, and we're going to have more iridescent ink just in the sky and random little splotchies. So that's what I did. Then I just went in with a little white gel pen to try to add some bigger snowflakes, but you can't really see it on camera, can't really see it in person. But, you know, it was part of the process, it was fun, and that's basically what I do for Inktober. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. I'll leave any and all relevant links in the description box below. If you happen to be doing Inktober this year, way to go you! You can do it! Finish strong, you got this! See you in the next video, guys. Do you want to see more shenanigans? Then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Oh, you want to see more shenanigans like right now? Then check out these suggestions on your screen or head on over to my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Check back soon for some more shenanigans. Bye!